Hey, I hope everyone is doing good. I do want to say before I go any farther that I did receive this product in exchange for a review. In case it looks like I'm going around in Mach speed, this video was originally like 30 some minutes long, and I ended up having to just condense it down to about 5 minutes. So I took off the old and I'm putting on the new one. You have to make sure that the holes where your old door was, you have to check the width of those, make sure they're the right width, and then you've also got to check the thickness of your door because that can change the install on what you have to do. Also, if you want to pause the video where I was putting in the plunger plate, quick tip, you can actually use a lot longer screws for more security. That's not something from this company, that's just something that I learned. But right there, you put that paper on the door, and what that will do is you punch out the little hole, lines up with your old door handle, and then that will show you where you need to drill. Now, our door, as you'll see, it's a metal door on both sides, so it takes a little bit of force to be able to get through. You also have to be very careful that you don't end up letting the bit go over too far, because while you're trying to get it to go through the metal, it can shift over. But once you get that done, it's pretty quick. Just make sure you glance through it. Make sure you do yourself a favor, unlike what I did. I did not read through the manual first to have some heads up. I will say this part right here, make sure that the interior parts, you are using the silver screws. You do not use the black screws until you get to putting on the bigger, the long piece of the door handle, and then there's a little screw and a little cap at the bottom that you put on the inside, and that is black. So don't do like I did and you won't have to take it back apart. That's a little bit tricky right there. You have to connect the wire from the outdoor piece on the inside. It clicks into place, and then you have to line up these two screw holes. Also, if you haven't already, you will need four AA batteries, sorry. You will need those, so in just a moment you'll see me run and go grab those and come back and place them in. It can get a little bit tricky right there, as you see, trying to get the screw holes lined up, but once you get it, they'll catch on, tighten up. Now, it does tell you to turn the doorknob, the door lock a little bit to make sure it is still freely and loose. So I did that, and then it tells you a code in the manual to put in and try to make sure that it locks and unlocks correctly, and it did. Also, you can connect it using the app. It connects through Bluetooth. You do have a way of being able to make it Wi-Fi, but you have to purchase a gateway separately. Other than that, as you see, I'm putting in the longer screws for the strike plate down at the bottom. This part was pretty simple. This is where you can find out, though, whether or not you have that bottom hole aligned. And you put that in right there, and then you have to align the bottom. I had to try to move the camera around so that you could see what I was doing. Now, the inside is a little bit tricky because not only do you have to keep it level and straight, but you also have to hold the door handle out of the way in order to be able to get the second screw in. So that can be a little bit tricky, but that's about